So, of course, one development that caught everyone's attention, a sitting judge who was eventually transferred, though, had allegedly piles of cash unaccounted that had caught fire and has now been transferred, possibly an inquiry also against him. But as the probe begins, it's remember about who first saw this. The first responders, the evidence gathered will be probed as well. Inquiry into contradictory statements that are coming in. Why are these double statements coming in if it is as clear as we can see from the visuals on the ground? High Court Judge Varma's call data records will also be investigated. He's interestingly crying conspiracy. India Today's legal editor Nalini Sharma joins me for the latest on that. Nalini, good morning. Tell me more about what kind of contradictory statements are coming in, especially with regard to piles of cash, and how is Justice Varma taking this ahead? He's been transferred. Many say that's not enough. What's happening in this case?
Well, Pooja, India Today has accessed the details of how the three-member panel that has been set up by the Chief Justice of India that's going to inquire into these allegations is going to move forward. And what we are given to understand is that the fire officials who were the first respondents at his residence when the fire occurred on the 14th of March is something that is going to be examined by the judges. Along with that, the panel is also expected to analyze the authenticity of the video that has come into the public domain now. So the details were put out by the Supreme Court. They are going to probably also be taking forensic help to determine how authentic is this video, where you can see piles of cash being burning. We can also verify that they will also look into whether or not the location of the video is the storeroom inside the judge's premises or not. So whether piles of cash were found, whether that is inside the judge's house is something that they are also going to be looking at. The kind of contradictory statements that we have seen, especially considering the fact that the Delhi Police Commissioner has said that the storeroom was mostly locked, where Justice Varma on the other side, when the CJI had asked him for an explanation, had said that the storeroom was accessed by the staff and the gardeners, is something that's going to be looked at. The U-turn that was taken by the fire services chief, where he earlier said that there was no cash being found and then later contradicted his own statement, is something that the Supreme Court is also going to look into closely as to why there were contradictory statements that were made. They are also going to analyze Justice Varma's call data records, and there's a list of people who are likely to be called in for questioning by the inquiry panel during this time. It's going to be a lengthy process for all of the inquiry to take place and for the judges to gather all of the details to submit a report before the Chief Justice of India. And we'll have to wait and see how soon it can be concluded and what further steps will be taken regarding Justice Varma's case.
All right, Nalini will be tracking the latest on that. Just look at that. This was the first visual that had come over the weekend. The visual of the piles of cash that were caught in that blaze. And in an unprecedented move, the Supreme Court has uploaded reports regarding the discovery of the unaccounted cash found at Delhi High Court sitting Justice Yashwant Varma's residence following a fire incident. But remember, this is also a rare public disclosure by the top court. They released reports, photographs and videos concerning allegations of what is being said as unaccounted cash, just piles of cash. Justice Varma denying the allegations, though, of a cash haul. And he's still defiant. He claims that the storeroom from which half-burnt wads of cash were recovered was kept unlocked at all times. It was always accessible, and including his house staff knew where it was. So it's not that it was deliberately hidden somewhere. Now, authorities have a counter. They are saying that these half-burnt piles of cash were found in locked storage. And that's why it cast a doubt on his claims. So we are putting forth for you the claims by Justice Varma and his team that has come in, and what the authorities, the police and emergency services that had landed up to ensure that the blaze was under control had found. A three-judge panel has been formed by the Apex Court to investigate the case further. But remember, this has raised a lot of issues. It's become a debate whether this is a question on credibility, whether this is about judiciary also facing questions now, and is the transfer enough to Allahabad High Court?
On the night of March 14, a large stash of cash was discovered after a fire at Delhi High Court Justice Yashwant Varma's official residence. In a rare public disclosure, the Supreme Court uploaded reports photographs and even videos regarding allegations of the recovery of burnt cash notes. Following an initial investigation by the Chief Justice of the Delhi High Court, the Supreme Court released the High Court's internal inquiry report on its website. The Supreme Court also uploaded videos and photographs which Delhi Police Commissioner Sanjay Arora shared with the court during investigations. Half-burnt wads of currency notes were recovered from Justice Yashwant Varma's official residence. Just listen in to what the first responders said on ground.
महात्मा गांधी मांग लग रही भाई बोलिए.
Imagine the magnitude of the stockpile of such burned notes that even after 10 days, even on the Sunday morning, when the NDMC workers were started cleaning up the process in the premises, they continue to found these kind of burned notes of the 500 notes. Now remember these numbers, the bulk of these notes were found by the police and the fire department. They all would have possibly the alphanumeric number codes, and that will be very substantial for the investigative team to find out the source of withdrawal of this income.
सर वो 4-5 दिन पहले यहाँ सफाई कर रहे थे, वो ढेर उठा रहे थे कूड़े का, तो उसमें जला हुआ कुछ सामान 10 में 500 के नोट थे जले हुए, वो छोटे छोटे टुकड़े थे उसमें. सर हमें ये नहीं पता कहाँ आग लगी है कहाँ नहीं लगी, हमारा काम तो कूड़ा उठाने का है.
The Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of India has formed a 3-judge probe panel. The panel will probe the source of the unaccounted cash, who removed the burnt cash pile, and details of staff with access to the room where the cash was stashed. Justice Varma, in his defense, claimed a conspiracy. He denied any knowledge of cash in the outhouse. Justice Varma insisted the storeroom or the outhouse was accessible even to outsiders. Justice Varma has been explicitly asked not to delete any data from his mobile phone.
जस्टिस यशवंत वर्मा, इनके घर में जो बहुत हार्ड कैश मिली है उसके बारे में इन हाउस ने आज अपने वेबसाइट पे जो पब्लिश किया है कि ये बहुत इन्वेस्टिगेशन का मामला है.
While the Supreme Court will wait for the probe panel report, the centre is keeping an eye on all developments.
देखिए उसमें सुप्रीम कोर्ट कार्रवाई कर रहा है, और आपके ध्यान में भी आया 3 जिसमें 2 तो ऑनरेबल हाई कोर्ट के चीफ जस्टिस हैं और एक जज हैं हाई कोर्ट के, उनकी कमेटी की रिपोर्ट आने दो फिर बताएंगे.
Has the cash mountain found at a judge's house exposed the rot in India's judicial system? Bureau Report, India Today.